Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Please put on your prayer chute and prepare for jump.
It's Mercury retrograde. That means it's time for our Soulmart.me Mercury retrograde sale. Like a 1-hour reading with Christopher Witecki, normally $159, retrogrades back to $95.10. Or try a 15-minute psychic look reading with Zen Shoemaker. She retrogrades down to $45 for a 15-minute reading. Or try the Act 3 Orbits Report. And the Jupiter Gets Emotional retrogrades the same to 1111. At Soulmart.me, mind, body, and soul improvement.
Soul Garden.
Namaste, and welcome to Soul Horoscopes Orbits Edition. From my webcam to yours, I'm Christopher Ray Witecki, your astrologer and soul biographer, here to help you put the pieces of your soul story together. And before we dive into your horoscope, I just want to give some gratitude to all those who have donated to soulgarden.tv in the last week. Thank you so much. And for those people who have purchased readings as well. We are continuing the sale. It has helped our situation, and we are very grateful. Also, this is a special horoscope designed to cover the entire 10-day period of before and after the solar eclipse that's coming up, and I'll be talking about that. So this is a special soul horoscope designed to help you through this quantum intention time. So the sun is in sexy Scorpio. We are working on our intimacy, our boundaries, our transformation, and we're working on committing to infinity. That's how serious Scorpios take it. We're going to deal with our core boundaries, and a solar eclipse is going to give us a quantum shift on November 3rd. Now, the moon signs most affected from the eclipse on are Scorpio in the eclipse, then Sag, Capricorn's very affected, and Aquarius is at the end of the week. The moon signs most affected by this, of course, are going to be the Tauruses and Scorpios, Sag and Geminis, Capricorns and Cancers, and Aquarius and Leos. But the orange ones are the moon signs that might go into depression or the dark side based on the fact that it's the anti-sign right now. Now, looking at orbits, man, I want to point out what the solar eclipse is going to do to our chakras. You may not know this, but Scorpio actually rules two chakras, the back of the throat and the front of the solar plexus there. The orange chakra works with Taurus, and that's what gives Scorpio the ability to rule the number 0 and complete a boundary around the soul. So this particular eclipse is going to be a tug-of-war in some senses because of the Earth is going to be located in Taurus, and the sun and moon, of course, in Scorpio. So this really is the creation and death transit, and a very powerful one. And each of your horoscopes, I'll be talking about how you can have some quantum creation in this solar eclipse. Now, looking at the planets, the most compelling thing to me is this Yod, which is a big part of the build-up to the solar eclipse. It's basically God giving us the finger, sacred geometry here, pointing to Uranus to innovate our egos. So in your horoscopes, I'll be talking about how you want to channel these other two parts of yourself, the new boundaries and your aggression, into the evolution of your ego and the evolution of how you act or react in society. Now, this square is still also happening, and it's important for you to know that because the Yod is being affected by the square, which means part of the innovation deals with you have to innovate or revolutionize the rules you subscribe to. And then finally, this black Lilith Grand Trine really reaches its most apex important point. We've been having this trine for weeks. This is our emotional healing underneath the seams of what we're seeing on top of our realities. And ultimately, because of the solar eclipse hitting one corner of the trine, you're going to see this issue carry out in the rest of your life. And I'll be talking about that in the horoscopes as well. Another thing I want to point out, which is really groovy, is actually this. Venus is entering and now conjuncting the galactic center this week. This is where the sun had conjuncted for the Mayan shift, etc. So this means we're going to start sensing some real high cosmic vibrations coming down from the heavens. Another interesting thing here, this is the party, Mercury, Saturn, and the sun in Scorpio. But actually, this whole eclipse is happening in the constellation of Ophiuchus. You've probably heard before that there's a 13th constellation. Well, kind of not so much true. The truth is, this is Ophiuchus here, and this is the Scorpio constellation. But it's not that there's a 13th constellation. It's that they used in the sky one little marker to represent the whole box of Scorpio. And so some astronomers who don't understand astrology assume that because there's extra space there, that we can just fit another constellation there in our zodiac. But the truth is that Scorpio rules the whole quadrant. It's just that Scorpio, in a very hiding way, is hiding in the corner. And that's part of actually the mythology of Scorpio, is that the constellation is, of course, hiding in the Scorpio den, waiting for some victim to fall in there, right? Maybe Ophiuchus. All right, well, that's all I have for now. Let's take the ascension elevator up and see what's going on with you.
Folks, this is your captain speaking. We realize you have a choice in the astrologers you choose to fly with, and we'd just like to thank you for flying with Christopher Witecki.
Namaste, soul healers and Virgo risings, and welcome to 33,000 feet for a bird's eye view of you. It's going to be an exciting 10 days. This horoscope covers the before period of a solar eclipse and the after period of a solar eclipse. That's why it's a solar eclipse special. For you, this represents a year now of trying to change your thinking. And the universe is forcing you to do it. I mean, the universe is going to have Virgos put your foot in your mouth, to be caught, you know, if you've cheated on a contract, to, you know, basically bringing total integrity to your thoughts and all communications, all written, spoken, word of you, etc. Now, the good news is that the hardest part has been up until now, which is removing your mind games, removing the issues that you tax your operating system with. There are many details that are not important that you hold on to. And this has to do with issues of security, issues of managing your emotions, issues of not being grounded, but not issues of what you should be thinking about. So your mind has been wasting time and energy, and now it is time to stop that. We have a full right to control our mind. Our mind is just a smartass that works for the king or queen. That's what I teach in my GA emails. That's what I teach in all my classes. It is really time for you to see who's really in charge, your heart or your mind. Which is it? Which is it going to be? If your heart doesn't want to think about it, you don't think about it. If your heart doesn't care about the detail, you don't care about the detail. The truth is the king or queen, the sun, the center of the solar system, is more important than Mercury, which is the small little thing whipping around the sun, trying to beat it up all the time. Come on now. So this week, it's about cutting away the mind games, and it's about stepping into a new mind frame and seeing how that works for you. All right? So as we move into this week, we're going to be clearing thoughts and clearing your old thinking, you know, finding where you're not getting the right information, looking at information. Mercury is retrograde in this transit, so you're not just thinking about what the thoughts are they themselves, you're also thinking about the thinking process and whether or not you include all the steps, or whether or not you skip steps, or you don't go through that process. Then through the next week after the solar eclipse, we move into your objectivity, your ability to create ideas, your ability to compare things in an objective way. This is what Geminis do. The reason why Geminis have twin personalities is because one twin focuses on one thing, one twin compares it the other way, and there's two voices represented. You know, when Virgos are hurt, they can latch on to ideas or concepts and be prejudiced to certain ideas in their mind. So in the state of Cancer, this is the part of you that is trying to find yourself in public. This is going to take a rest now. As of Thursday, it retrogrades. So Jupiter has pushed you as far as you're going to be pushed. It's now time to fill in the blanks. Black Lilith has cut away the old reputation, cut away the old you, but it will cross Jupiter, which means that you'll be planting deep subconscious seeds about your future as you take a break on the official future. So you'll be subconsciously creating your future for about 6 months, and when Black Lilith conjuncts, it's going to be a big deal. That's all I have to say. And that's it for those slides. Okay, so looking at the period before the solar eclipse, the real point to point out here is Thursday, October 31st, because by Thursday, you want to make a decision about your thinking processes and about what arguments you're letting go, what legal problems you're letting go, what conversations you're letting go. And in some cases, some people stop talking to their siblings or their brothers and sisters at this time because they are instigating mind games and warfare. That's totally okay to step away. You can always take breaks from people. I personally believe we reincarnate. You're not getting far away from them anyways, so take your time. That's my philosophy. You got to be this tall to ride this ride, you know. So on Thursday, you have to decide. The moon is actually focusing on money. So finances or manifestation might be what pushes you hard enough to get you to really make some decisions about those mind games or about conversation or whatnot. On Friday, you want to put that into action. Again, you might be moving forward in a certain way with a financial project or some sort of business at the same time, but this is your excuse to have the right mindset. So if your mind is not cooperative to what you're trying to manifest, it's not going to manifest. And by the way, that's been the whole issue this whole time. If your mind is going to sabotage it, it won't manifest. You know, in The Secret, they say thoughts become things. Well, if your thoughts pick apart everything you make, it will not manifest. It will come manifested in that disjointed, pick apart nature. You get what you put in, right? And thoughts are very important. So you want to put in motion on Friday the right thoughts. On Saturday, the moon then moves from Libra into Scorpio, and so now it's moving from manifestation to thoughts themselves. And on Saturday, you're really loving and trusting that your mind and attitudes are clear of the crap, and you're really just kind of putting a wall between the old mind and the new mind on Saturday. So that's what Saturday is. Skipping ahead now to the week of manifestation. First of all, I want to kind of point out a few things. One, Pluto at 9 degrees is pushing forward. Now this is your personal dreams. Your personal dreams need to move forward. Gone are the days, says Pluto, of when your heart was hurt and no one listened and yada yada, right? And I'm not trying to poo-poo it, but it's time to actually get what you want, not be anywhere focused on how you have it in the past. So that has to happen. Whoops, excuse me. Neptune at 2 degrees is, when it comes to your mirage, be self-compassionate and show mercy. Mercy, self-mercy is, you could pick on yourself about it, but you're not gonna, because you're a nice and merciful queen or king. Uranus at 9 degrees retrograde says that when it comes to personal boundaries, you're going to get pushed in the pool, you're going to get cold, something's going to happen that's not going to feel comfortable. There's no way around it. There's no comfortable way of change. Change is uncomfortable, okay? And I know Virgos don't like that. Saturn is really where the mind change is. Now what Saturn says is that this week, if you hold space, basically with the solar eclipse on Sunday, it's like God slapping your back. This mindset will stay. If you set a strong intention to change your mind, literally, about anything, it will change this week. The universe is blowing big gusts of wind to help you do that. In fact, on Tuesday, Saturn shifts to 14 degrees, which means your mind really does change, and it's about its change that you're trying to not pop out of, not trying to change it. So you're going to see results rather quickly. And Jupiter, this is what will actually, this starts at 20 degrees. This is where it stops too in its first direct. So went all the way to 20 degrees since July. This was your effort to change your reputation in the world, your effort to change your friends, your effort to change where you feel you belong. So that effort to change your stripes is breaking and retrogrades on Thursday for about 6 months. So you will get an official break from that effort for about 6 months. However, it's important for you to know that Black Lilith still crosses it, so you're still doing important spiritual work nonetheless. Now, on the way that it's going to be Lightcast Day on Sunday, I invite you to come down to SG Lightcast Temple and post your intention in our group manifestation room, so you get the extra juju of SG love. And post it on Sunday. Hold your integrity. It's ruled by Chiron. It's a Virgo day, so Sunday's a Virgo day. Virgos are going to feel better than anyone else. Mercury is retrograde, so you are inside out, but it's a great day. And the moon, of course, is in Scorpio, so it's all about setting that new intention with that new mindset. For those Virgos who are messengers or writers or architects or use their mind for a living, you could also be light casting the skills for that success. But don't work on that success, work on the skills for that success. That's what I recommend. On Monday, you want to stay open to how God's going to deliver the package, and that means in your mind you stay open for how your mind leads you into this new reality. On Tuesday, it looks like quantum breakthrough and understanding. Although it is a nesting and resting transit for Virgos and Virgo risings, you'll be in bed or at home or relaxing, but it looks like there is a quantum breakthrough on this day. And if not that day, the next day when the light bulb goes off on the 6th, when the sun is 14 degrees. So Tuesday, Wednesday is a quantum, something nuclear, could be something unexpected happening. There's a lot of Uranian energy. It's still 2 days after the solar eclipse, so Tuesday is probably when we actually see the results of that solar eclipse when it really comes in, which is damn fast. Because it's an eclipse, that's why it's fast, but we still get it. Again, Thursday, butterflies come out to play, and the moon moves into Capricorn, which means your inner child gets struck and lit up. Now remember, keep that inner child positive, that your dreams are happening, not the old where it didn't happen, according to your liking. So that's super important on Thursday. Let the butterflies fly, let yourself feel good, and officially you're off the hook as far as social development. You don't have to have official report card results in society as of Thursday, but you're still, of course, going to be a Virgo about it now, aren't you? Then on Friday, it's a Neptune ruled day, and the moon is still in Capricorn, so you'll probably want to be with your honey, or you want to be with the honey. Friday is a spiritual day for you and a love day, so the two combined is very relationship oriented. So Friday is a very good date day for those who are in relationships. And then finally on Saturday, this is where you need to commit to where your mind is going. For those who are messengers or developing some sort of intellectual project, this is when you want to have your project clear, is by Saturn day. The moon will be in Aquarius, so it'll be a hyper-aware day for you, and Saturday will probably be a healing day for you if you do any kind of healing ritual for yourself. All right, so it is now time, my friends, to jump to the bottom, but I have a very good surprise for you, a whole new Serious Joy package at the bottom for you that'll help keep your mind in the right place right after this jump.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Please put on your prayer chute and prepare for jump.
It's Mercury retrograde. That means it's time for our Soulmart.me Mercury retrograde sale. Like a 1-hour reading with Christopher Witecki, normally $159, retrogrades back to $95.10. Or try a 15-minute psychic look reading with Zen Shoemaker. She retrogrades down to $45 for a 15-minute reading. Or try the Act 3 Orbits Report. And the Jupiter Gets Emotional retrogrades the same to 1111. At Soulmart.me, mind, body, and soul improvement.
Namaste, Virgos and Virgo risings, and welcome now to Witecki Theater, and I have your Serious Joy toy for you. This is a little intellectual toy that I give you to play with for the whole week and stay in your heart. So the first thing is this week, because we're talking about your mind, I think we should look at this as a chalkboard. And so this week I'd like you to make chalkboard edits. Chalkboard edits is, anytime a thought isn't correct, you erase it and rewrite it. That means when a thought goes by and says, oh, I'm stupid, you erase it and you rewrite it. I'm smart, okay? And you do that and you become a Virgo about it. You force every thought to be officially above the board. And then, once you have the solar eclipse, I want you to pretend that every thought from the solar eclipse on is going to be published in a book for everyone to read. Which means that you have to step back and actually watch your thoughts and observe and edit them. And we're talking about your thoughts, not what you say. So what you say is like 3 steps away, right? So everything that you think is going to be published, therefore you better think carefully. And I think this grasshopper will get you to where you want to go. Namaste, Virgos. I love you very much. I'll see you in 7 days. Live, love, be.
SoulGarden.tv.
Live, love, be was my phrase, man. I told him when I was in prison.
Imprisoned?
Well, the fucking establishment, man. The state of California, it's all Nixon run, man. I was in for 25 years.
For medicinal marijuana?
It wasn't medicinal back then, man. They considered it a crime. Welcome to the establishment, kids. For my sacrifice, you can now smoke it up anytime you want. I did the time. You can do the crime.